Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class entertainment, education, hope and inspiration. Our show today is A Woman's Prerogative in partnership with E360 TV Part 2. A warm welcome to our loyal viewers and our friends at E360 TV. And also a warm hello to all of our friends on our usual social media channels, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and X. Today's topic is a really fun and interesting one. We had an interesting debate and conversation on our topic on part 1. It's net zero and beyond holiday choices, business, and climate change. I'm Caroline HEWARD. I'm absolutely thrilled and honoured to be representing Dr. Jacqueline as your host for USA Global TV and Radio's flagship show, A Woman's Prerogative. I'm also the channel's TV presenter, resident therapist for USA Global TV and Radio. Today, I am joined by our panelist, our resident panelist, MARISKA. She's all the way from Australia, and she is an optimist and an ICF PCC credentialed coach. She is our coach extraordinaire on the channel, and I am looking forward to having this interesting topic with our wonderful Mariska. So please do join us, Mariska, and let's get started. Hello.
Hello, Caroline. It is so wonderful to be back with you.
And also I can say the same, we just work with each other, don't we? It seems to just ride. The shows go very quickly. So please do introduce what you do to our viewers, whether they're watching on the live or the replay, especially our new viewers, a little bit about what you do and how you help people.
So for all those that do not know me, as well as those that has joined the show before, I'm a leadership development partner, and I do this mainly through coaching. And I partner with leaders that's either going into leadership for the first time. So if you are a specialist and you're moving into your leadership journey, or you are already in your leadership journey and you want to move up in your leadership journey, that's where I typically help. And I help to bring a little bit more humanness into our workspace because, well, that is the people that we work with when we are leaders. And we need to not only learn how to work with them, but also learn how to get the best out of all of the people that we work with within the environments that we are functioning in. So that's what I do. And as you can see at the bottom here, you can reach me on my email, which is mariska@journey2discover.com, or alternatively, you can find me on LinkedIn and then come and visit me there. So, Caroline, how about you?
Well, thank you, Mariska. I always love your intros, especially the 2-bit. I'm Caroline HEWARD, and I'm known as the Harley Street Stress Expert. I'm also USA Global TV and Radio's channel TV presenter and resident therapist. And I am also known as the Harley Street Stress Expert in terms of I spent 17 years working in Harley Street. So I felt that I owed myself the title of the Harley Street Stress Expert. What I do is I help people bust their stress. I do this individually, and I also work with teams online and face-to-face. I also organise lunch and learn meetings where I go to corporate organisations and talk about what it is that creates stress and how they can overcome it. My main theme is to educate, to create understanding, insight, awareness, because it's from that place that we can solve and work with the root cause therapy. Just recently, I did a talk on SAD, seasonal affective disorder, at a corporate in Birmingham, which went down a storm, and I'm really looking forward to working with them further in the future. I also help people bust their stress, and I do that by identifying root cause of what created their stress and their repeating pattern of the way that the stress manifests in their lives, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or behavioural. You can reach me on nomorestress@live.co.uk, and you can also follow me on LinkedIn and Facebook. So Mariska, let's get into the topic and have some fun with it. It was really wonderful to hear your response when we were backstage, that you loved the title and you were really excited to talk about it. So let's remind our viewers, whether you're watching on the live or the replay, net zero and beyond, holiday choices, business and climate change. So what came up for you when you saw that topic? What was it that really made you very excited, Mariska? Because I'm dying to hear what made you excited about tonight's topic.
Well, Caroline, for me, the thing that came up when I see net zero, I always think about sustainability. So it's really around how can we operate within the ecosystem where we're operating in to have as light touch of an approach as possible with the maximum amount of benefit from it. So that's the main thing that came up for me. And then I saw, holiday choices, business and climate change. So normally I think about it in business and climate change, but not so much holiday choices. And I was very intrigued. So I have, unfortunately, because the show, the first part is very early in my morning, I have not had a chance to have a look at it yet. In saying that, I will definitely go back because I heard that you guys had a fabulous discussion. And I'm really looking forward to our discussion too.
Cool. Thank you, Mariska. Well, we had an expert on part one on sustainability, and it brought up some things that neither I knew or our other panelists knew. So it was good for us to learn and at the same time to share our own experiences. So I'm going to begin with my first question, and that is holiday choices and sustainability, because it was something that came up for me in terms of the things that I do personally. And one of the things that I've got a bit of a bee in my bonnet about is because I've moved to a new house, a huge house with a huge garden, is to move everything to LED and energy saving. And that saves me a fortune on my own electricity. So I do have an ulterior motive, but also I've been fascinated with LED in terms of lighting. And that's what I've got now in my studio, my home studio, LED light bulbs. And in my garden, there is a plug to plug in all the wonderful lamps and lighting that is loaded with probably 100-watt light bulbs. And I haven't turned it on since I've been here because I want to change it and light up my garden with LED and energy saving light bulbs in the garden. And that's also something that I'm very focused on when I do decor within my home. I love the LED little lights, and it saves me a fortune. And also from that perspective, it's something that I enjoy. And I was very pleased when I went to visit my mum last week that she now has all her energy saving light bulbs in. So she's cut her energy, sort of by 90% in terms of her electricity, which I'm very pleased about because that's going to show a big difference. What are your thoughts about what I've shared? And do you have anything else to add in terms of the Christmassy stuff that, sort of the LED, the energy saving things that we can do? And would you like to add something more in terms of what you do?
Caroline, I love the LED movement that you have been going on. I've been on it myself for a couple of years now. We started actually back in South Africa. So one of the things that you may or may not know about is in South Africa, we had things that's called rolling blackouts. So basically the energy grid cannot quite handle the energy requirement of the country. So what they do is they switch off certain areas and then they switch on certain areas so that everybody can share in the electricity. Now, before this happened on a very big scale, while we were still there, one of the things that we did was starting to use LED in everything whenever we needed to replace equipment. So if you think about your TV or your fridge and freezer, that sort of stuff, we looked at things that were really, really good in electricity use as well. Because one of the things that we wanted to do is to make sure that we could actually run our house, if required, on a wee little generator. And we were also looking at that stage at putting in some solar panels and batteries and stuff like that. On top of that, we also had a little camper. So our little camper was literally a tent on the back of a little camping wagon. So not a caravan. And in our little tent, we also wanted lighting and all the other fun stuff that you would require when camping. And we looked at specifically LEDs within that space, as well as energy saving little fridge freezer thing that we could run from the battery and 2 solar panels, which worked really, really well. So I have not looked at garden decorations for Christmas, though, as yet. What I have seen, though, is there's quite a few people around in my neighborhood that has small little solar panels that's connected to light strings. And they use that instead of plugging it into the home electricity. They just use those little panels and it lights up the light string. Of course, if you don't have that much sun, potentially it might not work that well. And seeing as you guys are in the northern hemisphere and it snows and it's cold and dreary a lot more than it is for me here in Australia, where we have brilliant sunshine most of the year. It might be a little bit different for you. So I'm not sure how effective that would be.
I'm loving the fact that it's northern and southern hemisphere in terms of you have sunshine. I don't know whether I could really cope with sunshine on the beach at Christmas. It doesn't seem to kind of have a ring to it for me. But I had a lot of Australian friends that would say that they loved our snow, and it was a change from having a Barbie on the beach for Christmas. But just bringing myself to thinking about examples of eco-friendly practices and thinking about my garden. What I did one year was I bought a real Christmas tree. It was a small Christmas tree, but I was really interested in having something that was real. The problem was living in the middle of London and living in a London flat. It was difficult because we didn't have a garden. And I wanted that tree to keep going. I didn't want to throw it away and kill it. And this was a long time ago. This was probably 2002, so over 2 decades ago. And what we did was we gave it to my mother-in-law, and she replanted it in her garden. And I felt really humbled by the fact that my little Christmas tree was going to keep growing. Now, I don't know what's happened to that Christmas tree, but I'm going to create a tradition of buying a new a potted Christmas tree. I just need to find one because I got it from a nursery, and pot it. So that's on my list, not for this year, but probably for next year, to find a local nursery that does real trees. And the other thing I wanted to share is, in terms of being eco-friendly around the holidays, is having a secret Santa. And this reduces the need for the volume of gift exchanges. So if there's like if you're in a working environment and there's 10 of you and you each buy one gift for another person, it remains a secret. That's the term Secret Santa. And then the person gets your gift. And so instead of exchanging 10 gifts, you exchange one gift. So you get one back and you buy one, which saves an absolute fortune on your gift buying, especially if you're in communities or in a work environment. And it also saves you a lot of money, and you can buy something that's reasonable without breaking the bank. So what are your thoughts, Mariska, in terms of what I've shared? And do you have any other ideas that you could share in terms of making the holiday more eco-friendly and traditional, and working on traditions, get it out, or practices? I couldn't get the words out, in terms of swapping presents and other things that we do around the holiday time.
Well, first off, I'm thinking that your tree planting idea is a fabulous one, and I'm seeing a forest being created in your backyard. So I'm absolutely for that. One of the things that I've seen in my vicinity is somebody took one of the outdoor trees. So no, it's not the typical Christmassy shaped tree. It's a roundish shaped tree. I'm not even sure what type of tree it was. But they put all their Christmas lights inside of the tree. And at night, the way that they've put the Christmas lights in, it actually looks like a 3-dimensional dome that they've created with all these Christmas trees. It looked so, so pretty. So I would literally, if you have an already full-grown tree and it's beautiful and it's in the good place spot, just light it up. I mean, why not? Make it look pretty, and there you go. No requirement for buying big trees. And the thing that I do, so the eco tree that I have, is a small little metal formed tree. And every year I would get small little chocolates as decorations. So I would pop the chocolates into the tree, and then it's decorated. I have a few fairy lights that I put into the tree as well, so it has its lights. And then, of course, the chocolates would disappear over the festive season at some point, which means that the decorations gets eaten. I don't need to put them anywhere. And I have a tree that can then, for the rest of the year, also function just as a decoration piece. So that's the way that I do a Christmas tree.
Sounds amazing. I love it. I did start purchasing a holly tree each year, which was smaller for my London property. Now I'm not really here over Christmas. I'm more with my family in Birmingham. So I perhaps don't really feel the need to be too Christmassy at home here right now. But I do the lights, and I do have a Christmas plant, the poinsettia, beautiful red leaves. And they're very inexpensive to buy, and because I look after them so well, they usually last me. My ones that I was buying in London with very little sun and very little outside, and it was usually lasting me for at least 2 to 3 months. So I make a good job of making it work for me. So, Mariska, what role do businesses play in promoting a greater greener practices around the holiday season? One of the things that I thought about here is offering eco-friendly services and products and tailored to the holiday season. What are your thoughts about that? And do you have anything more to add in terms of that eco-friendly theme?
I think one of the things that I saw from a very creative business in Melbourne, I think, is that they take the packaging that they have for the things that they sell, and they actually make it look like gift wrapping with
Oh,
a
lovely.
little bow and all. So you literally do not have to gift wrap it, which
Oh.
I thought was such a good idea because it saves me on figuring out how to gift wrap the thing. Plus, I don't have to buy extra gift wrapping plus the box plus all the rest of the stuff. So I thought that was quite innovative and a good idea of just getting it sorted out. Of course, if you have themed gift wrapping, it may or may not suit with your theme. And in saying that, if you are doing Secret Santas, you are all sorted. You have the gift, it is wrapped, and it can be passed on to said wonderful person that will be receiving your gift. So that's one thing that I've noticed just in my environment, going around and trying to find gifts for different people. One of the other things that I also noted is that they try to do a little bit of different ways of decorating. So I don't know whether you guys are big on the whole Halloween thing, but I noticed that some people or some of the shops had a alternative way of using some other decorations that they would typically use for other holidays. So whether it is the Valentine's time or whether it is the Halloween time, they did not use the skeletons, don't worry. There's no skeleton Father Clauses that I saw in any of the shops. But I did see some of the things that they used from some of the other holiday seasons or celebratory seasons that's coming in, which I thought that's quite nifty. So you can sort of repurpose some of the things that you use and the way that you use them. That I thought, okay, yeah, good idea. I will get onto doing that as well. So repurposing is a different way of doing that. And I am sure that there's loads and loads of ways businesses get into creative ideas of being more sustainable within the Christmas period, which I might not have come across yet. What have you come across, Caroline?
Well, my background is marketing. I'm a chartered marketer. And my ears prick up when I think that it's a very in thing to have a sustainability mission. And I feel that marketing as a business, what you're doing will attract people to buy your products and services, that you are being eco-friendly and you have a sustainability policy. And so from that perspective, I feel saying, marketing and telling people what you're doing is something that is probably simple and yet really effective, and maybe not thought about, that the company might be sustainable and it might be looking at sustainable products and services and offering them, but not telling people about them. So we can be, and even when I was in marketing, we can be really good at something but forget to tell someone that we're doing something. And so, from my perspective, telling people and being part of your messaging that you are using sustainable services and products, and also from a business perspective, collaboration of working with other people that have got sustainable services and products. So piggybacking on somebody else's will raise your own services and products above other people's shoulders. And it's the in thing, much of the younger generations, the millennials, Generation Z and Alpha generation, they're all very much into sustainability and saving our planet, because there's much more of a focus on it than perhaps there was when I was younger, even though I was focused and concerned about, we might run out of electricity. My mum just thought that I was being silly, but, sort of it's come, because I kept saying, what happens if we run out of water? What happens if we run out of electricity? But I was that kind of inquisitive child that would question, we can't keep using things like this because we might run out. And this is exactly where we are. And so that's, sort of a childhood thing that I would say that has come true in terms of communicating that we have to be more sustainable. So how can local communities embrace sustainability during the festive season? Now, we looked at this in our part 1. One of the things that we talked about was hosting swap markets, which I thought was really fun. But something else that I thought about was organising eco-friendly holiday fairs and bringing the community into that. Do you have any thoughts on what I've just shared? And do you have any other ideas in terms of bringing the community into the sustainability things that we could do as a community during the festive season?
Well, I know that for you guys, it's not necessarily growing season as such. For us, though, it is growing season. So I think when I think about community and I think about this time of year, especially summer with loads and loads of produce, everybody that has a small little garden, even if you just plant 1 or 2 tomato plants, don't know if you've ever tried it, but if you plant one, there's a lot of tomatoes that get ripe all at the same time, and they're way too many to eat. So being able to swap them out with a neighbor that maybe has corn or something else that they planted. So being able to do things like that during this time, if you are in the southern hemisphere, if you are in the northern hemisphere, I'm not too sure how the growing would work in that case. And I am sure that there's also, so one of the things that I have noticed is that from time to time, one of the organizations where I worked, people have a tendency to gift and then we want to re-gift. So one of the things that the organization did is after the Christmas period, if there was any re-gifting that needed to take place, they would facilitate a little bit of a re-gifting process so that we could actually utilize the things that we got for Christmas in an appropriate way and hopefully be able to get something that is more usable in our specific case.
I love that idea, and I brought up something not too dissimilar, but I love the way that you shared that in terms of, an unwanted gift for you is probably, so what do they call it? What your rubbish is somebody else's treasure, so something that's not good for you would be amazing for someone else. And it's just about making sure that we share it around so that we can get the right gift to the right person. I love it. Absolutely amazing. And wonderful for our viewers to hear some of the things that you're getting up to on the Southern Hemisphere. I love the tomato plant idea. So, Mariska, what challenges do startups face when integrating sustainability into their business models? And I know this is something that you probably have some thoughts and some conversation about, because this is very much up your street, as we would say in England. So what are your thoughts in terms of integrating sustainability into the business model?
Caroline, I think with startups now, when I think about startups and our specific topic today, it's not only startups as a business, but starting up your life, starting up as a family, any places where it is something new that we are endeavoring. I think a lot of times we might not always know what it is that we need, or we are building as we go and we think we just need the new. And that to me is a lot of the times we actually might benefit from looking at things that's already been used. So I'm going to use a silly example here of a table. And the reason why I'm using this silly example of table is because I actually wanted to have a workbench. So we went to the local shop that sells timber, and we could buy any new piece of timber there. And then we also got to hear about a place that sells secondhand timber. Now, all the timber in that place comes from either homes that's been demolished or places where they have ripped out a whole bunch of timber in that space. So you get all sorts of different types of timber, all sizes, all colors, anything that you can possibly think of. And for me, with the table that I wanted to make in any case, because I didn't want to go and buy a new one, I wanted to build one. I really appreciated the second-hand timber shop because I could get a few pieces of really, really good looking timber that I didn't have to age because it was already aged. They had beautiful pieces to themselves because with age, there's these stories in the wood, there's stories in these pieces that I won't get if I buy something brand new. So when I think about a startup, yes, there might be things that you need that is fairly new. And what is there that potentially you can repurpose or reuse in a different way that's innovative, and that can become part of your process? And those things, to me, if we work them into our way of thinking and doing early on, becomes part of our sustainability process. So it's not really about only having that form that we have typed up and say, oh yeah, we are sustainable, blah, blah, blah. But it's really around thinking about how do we make this part of our being, part of the way that we think about it and operate on it. Like Caroline, you mentioned with your tree, if I plant a tree every year, I will end up with a small little forest. And hey, I also get free oxygen from all of that and lovely shade. So why not?
I really love what you shared about the forest, because I do have 30 plants here that I moved from London to my new location, and they're thriving because there's a lot of sunshine here. Even though it's cold, there's a lot of sunshine. I have lots of window and they're thriving. And that's one of the things that I feel is wonderful, because plants give out more oxygen. So we're not only giving ourselves, a more sustainable approach to living as a human being with plants, we're actually giving ourselves more oxygen as well, which is wonderful to be in. And, something that occurred to me as you were speaking about looking at old, that's one of the first things I do. And when I moved here, I didn't bring all my shelving with me for all my books and files. And I've still got a lot of that in boxes at the moment. And so what I did was I went to a local office supplies company, and they had second-hand or used office furniture, and I purchased from them at an extraordinarily discounted rate 2 huge bookshelves with cupboards, cupboard doors that host all my books, but I've still to fill it because I'm still in the process of sorting out where the books and the folders and the files go. But that was something that I did straight away. Rather than purchasing new shelves for my office, I left them in my old property and bought something that was sustainable in terms of my home office. So I love that idea, and there is a story to tell, with everything that is bought that's not new, because I'm an antique collector. So I feel that the furniture is much better made, and I save a lot of money by not buying new. And I also feel that furniture was made much better in older times, in Victorian times, because now the furniture is made not to last. And I do love the idea of things lasting. Well, we are really at the top of the point of our show ending, Mariska, and what an exciting show it's been. So, Mariska, before we go, please do share with our viewers. Can you believe how much time has gone so quickly? And I didn't get through all my questions as usual. So please do share with our viewers a little bit about how they can reach you, how they can contact you, Mariska.
So as you will see, we are showing my website, so you can do that via my website, or alternatively, you can email me at mariska@journey2discover.com. Of course, website also journey2discover.com. Or alternatively, you can also get hold of me via LinkedIn. You can write me a message and we can start our conversation. So that is if you are a specialist moving into leadership, or even thinking about doing that, or alternatively, if you are a leader already in leadership and moving up in your career and you want to bring a little bit more humanness into your space. How about you, Caroline?
Thank you very much, Mariska. I always love doing the shows with you. It's been amazing, always interesting conversation. And I just wanted to say it's always a pleasure to do this show. So my name is Caroline HEWARD. I've been your host this evening for this show, and I'm also the resident therapist for USA Global TV and Radio. You can reach me on nomorestress@live.co.uk, or you can call me on +44 if you're international, if you're local, 07523 120 189. You can also follow me on LinkedIn and Facebook. Those are my preferred platforms. And I also post the live shows on these two platforms. If you miss out on the show going live, the replays are there on the platforms on my social media platforms. Well, I've had a thoroughly amazing A Woman's Prerogative Part 2 for net zero and beyond, holiday choices, business and climate change. I feel there'll be part 3, part 4, part 5. We could go on and on. We haven't even scratched the surface. Thank you very much, Mariska. Have a wonderful holiday, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. And thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. If you're here on the live or the replay, it's been an absolute pleasure. I do hope that you've gained some insights on how you can be more sustainable over the festive season. Please do join our VIP exclusive community and become a member of our exclusive VIP community for first access to our newest videos, photographs, and insights on the British royal family, which are live streamed on YouTube and on USA Global TV and Radio. It's been wonderful to be with you on A Woman's Prerogative Part 2, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Our shows are Mondays for Part 1. It's 2 p.m. Eastern Time and 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And for Part 2, it's 4 p.m. Eastern Time and 9 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a wonderful festive season, a more sustainable festive season, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye for now, and over to our sponsors.
day.
Nolan here with you at the Checkmates versus the Flyers alumni. We had a great time this afternoon. Game was close, and we're all here for Checkmates Charities, which is the real reason that everybody's here, not only the players, but all the fans that were here. It was a great day, and we're really happy to be here.
It was fun to be out here at Northeast Skate Zone because the Chakras were a pretty good team, and so we had a lot of fun with the charity.
And it was good because they took it easy on us old guys. So we had a good time. So anytime you can do something for charity, and I know a couple guys on the other team, and just be on the rink, we all go have fun.
Good times go. I'm either gone in an instant or here to the bitter end. I never know what I got.
I want to thank my family for all that they did to help me get through this, and there's a lot of planning that get done. It has to get done. I want to thank Nick's Roast Beef and Common Avenue for all they've done. Dr. PREEZ for saving my life, finding the disease and treating me for so long, and the Flyers organization for all they do to help us raise money every year. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.